Having a smartphone in your hand, like so, it means you never have to be bored. But here's the question. Is it a good thing to always have this in your hand? David Ryan Polgar from davidryanpolgar.com is here to tell us the importance of being bored. You're defying the logic of every teacher and parent of all time because they said, oh, don't be bored, always go do something.
We're afraid of boredom, right?
I guess we are.
We try to avoid it, never have boredom at any cost. First off, Seth, I want to say, when I told my wife today that I was talking about boredom, she said, David, you'll be great at that. Yeah. So I don't know if that was a compliment or not. But anyhow,
think it was
we need to embrace boredom. That's the key part.
And only in the sense, though, that we're so often we're doing this.
Oh, sure.
Even when we're talking to people, we're talking and we're doing this. So by ditching this and introducing a little boredom into our lives, it can actually build so much more than we could have ever thought.
Yeah, you really have to allow your brain to wander and wonder. Right? When you think about the most creative people, the people who have that wisdom, who do you think of? Right? Personally, I think of Mr. Miyagi. He wasn't multitasking.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have a smartphone all the time, right? He wouldn't have a Bluetooth in his ear.
No.
What he would be doing is he'd be out there every once in a while thinking about what he consumed that day. And likewise, as modern workers, we need to occasionally kind of step away from this flow of information and think about what we've consumed. Right, that's where we're going to get to the deeper level.
And the I wonder question is gone. I remember before the smartphones and the computers, I would walk around, up and down the streets with my buddies, and we'd be talking about stuff, and we'd wonder. And then we'd say, I wonder what this is, but we'd never know the answer.
Yeah.
And it would cause us to extrapolate and think what the answer might be. But now, if you have an I wonder moment, it's solved by Mr. Google very easily.
It completely gets obliterated, right? Neil Postman in the 1980s, he started wondering if we were going to amuse ourselves to death. Right, because every time there's a thought, it can get zapped out. Every time we allow, the thinking process, we say, let's go to Google. Right, but occasionally we need to kind of step away from that and allow our kind of mental muscles to take shape.
So you have three tenets that we can all take home with us today. The first is not all who wander are lost. What do you mean by that?
Exactly. We need to embrace those who kind of step away and really think about something. It's good to really be lost in thought. It's good to daydream, right? When we think about a classic genius like Einstein, he was well known for daydreaming. Likewise, we need to do that with our kids and with adults in general, is we need to daydream. We need to kind of find our flow, find our moments where we're most creative and embrace those. And they're usually, again, not when we're emailing, answering our phone, usually when we're kind of stepping away.
And you think about these great thinkers, and for me, I always think about, Jim Henson, Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
They're people who dreamt the impossible. And you can only do that when you're not Googling. It's when you're thinking of things that can't be found on Google.
Right, and yeah, even when you think about someone like Steve Jobs, they were able, even though they were embraced into tech, they were able to step away from that occasionally and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to go for a hike. I'm going to have deep thinking. That's what we need to do.
The next thing that everybody can take home with them, being busy, not impressive anymore.
Exactly, right. It's not a good thing. Anytime now somebody comes up to me and says, I'm so busy. I say, really? And they say, yeah, I'm so busy. And I say, oh, I guess you're really inefficient. That. I get unfriended after that. But But anyhow,
it's not a great conversation
it's not a good thing. We're knowledge workers, right? In 2015, moving forward. So it's all about what we accomplish in the end. We're not factory workers, right? So it doesn't matter how much time. So for somebody to say, I'm so busy, I'm so overscheduled. Well, you know what? We need to control that because it matters. If you have creative, innovative thoughts.
And that's a great point. Everybody says they're so busy, but you can use this for your own good. You can schedule yourself.
Technology is supposed to make our lives easier. Let's gravitate towards the parts of tech that do make our life easier, because they can. But a lot of times, if we're so consumed with them, right? I like to say, if left to our own devices, we'll always be on them, right? So occasionally we need to use our tech, but then step away, where we can really kind of embrace the deeper thinking.
That's true. If someone says, I'm busy, you're right, doesn't impress me. If someone says, I'm being so efficient lately, I'd say,
that impresses me.
Whoa, hey, what's your phone number? You seem like a cool person to befriend.
Let's go for efficiency.
Right, exactly. Last tip, don't be a dopamine.
Don't be a dopamine, right? Dopamine is the drug that gets released in our brain every time we hear a ring or a ding or a ping.
We're Pavlov's dogs.
We're Pavlov's dogs. So exactly, every time our phone goes, we salivate, right? But you know what? We're winding up with a bunch of slobber all over our face. We don't want to be that way. But again, that goes back to if left to our own devices kind of idea. So we need to actually not just rely on willpower, but occasionally put our phone away, go for a hike, talk to our loved ones, because those moments of what we would call boredom are going to sometimes be the greatest moments in life.
I was going to say, you might want to Instagram it, but no, put your phone down and enjoy it. Always
Yeah,
a pleasure
real-time
having you here.
leaving.
And thanks for not pulling your phone out during this segment.
No problem.
I do appreciate it. Coming up